and welcome back to the channel. Alright, so this is a special video obviously for the upcoming next generation of games with the PS5 and the Xbox Series S and X. So we're going to start this video obviously with some of the Xbox stuff. Very minimal really, there's not a grand deal going on, but there is some highlights I want to talk about which are coming out on the console. Now, there's only two really that I want to mention, and there's a game called Bright Memory, which is like they're charging you $8 for basically what is a playable demo, because it's been said that it can basically be completed in around about an hour, which to me sounds absolutely crazy. However, the game does look very good. I do think it does look good, and I do want to mention this game on the list because it's got a really nice art style, and I really like the vibe this game's giving off. So it's definitely one of those games where I know I'd enjoy it. And I know this is only just like a demo-y type thing that they're doing. It's almost like a paid-for demo, like I say, but I do like the look of it, and I do want to mention it here as it does come out on launch day of the Series X. So, you know, it needs to be said that the game does look good. I do like the look of it, and it's actually, like, as I said, it's almost like a demo that's coming out for the full game called Bright Memory Infinite later on in next year. Anyway, it does look good. I do like the look of it. Moving on to the next game I want to talk about here for the Series X. Now, it's very strange, but the game Evergate is an old game. It's on PS4, Xbox One, Windows, Steam, all over the place. But I've got it on the Switch. However, this little mini 2D platformer, well, 3D, 2D type thing, you know, it's like 2.5D. It just looks awesome, and I really like this game. However, the next-gen upgrade with all the next-gen features are exclusive to Series X at the moment. They're not putting the patch out to PC, they're not putting it anywhere. The next-gen version of this game is Series X only, or Series S and X only, which is pretty cool. I just don't really know when this is going to be coming out as the next-gen version on PlayStation 5. So I do want to mention that here because this game is very good, and I do love this game. I've played it quite a bit on the Switch, and it's definitely worth grabbing this game. I do think so. It's got all sorts of vibes of different other games that are involved in this game, and it does score quite high on the on Metacritic for the older version. So it's definitely worth grabbing this if you're a 2D indie side-scroller style platform gamer like, and you enjoy this type of game, you'll love it. So yeah, that's definitely on my radar. It comes out again in the launch of the Series X. So they're basically the two games I want to mention for the Series X there. There's no AAA games at launch, and there's not much else really to say. However, we do have a massive next generation update for No Man's Sky coming out, which is very cool. I do think that this coming out with the next gen upgrade is very cool. It's nice to see that they're continuing to develop for this game, as it had a very rough launch at the beginning. However, giving it a next gen lick of paint and a little bit more of an extra lease of life on next generation is a definite good move from the developers of No Man's Sky. I do say that the upgrade on the graphics and everything looks absolutely awesome, and yeah, they've done a very good job of bringing this over, and it's got PlayStation VR support, which is very cool, but obviously that's probably not going to be used in the next gen version, but it is very cool to see as well. However, another game that's getting a lick of paint for next generation as well, and being brought up to 4K 60 and all sorts of stuff on next generation, is Borderlands 3. Now, I've played Borderlands 3 to death. very close to the platinum. However, I've purposely not played a lot of the DLC, so I could play it on the next generation versions. So I will be just playing basically the next generation part of the game and then extra stuff in the DLC area and the DLC add-ons and extras and such. I'm not a big online gamer with these games anymore, but I mean, I really enjoyed Borderlands 3, so, and I am very close to the platinum. I think I'm about 10% off or something stupid, so it's very close to getting the platinum on that. And although I didn't have any frame rate issues and I didn't have any lag or anything on this game, obviously having it up to 60 FPS is very good for competitive play. If you're a Borderlands competitive gamer and you're playing online a lot, having those extra frames is always better for that style of gameplay. Same can be said with the next game on this list, which is Mortal Kombat 11. Now, basically, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate is the original base game, then with the Season Pass 1 and 2. I think they're called Combat Passes or something stupid. But basically it's the 2 passes for the game and the original base game all bundled into one edition. Which is very cool really, because if you think about it, if you didn't buy it in the first place, I did, but if you didn't buy it in the first place, then you're getting the 2 season passes, which I think are £20 each normally, and the base game for basically the price of what the base game was in the first place. So I think it's £50, whereas before you'd have been paying £50 for Mortal Kombat 11 and then paying £15-20 for the 2 different season passes. So you're basically getting the season passes for free in with the base game if you've waited a year, because I think it's about a year old now, Mortal Kombat 11. But I've always enjoyed Mortal Kombat and I always will, pretty much. It's just one of those iconic fighting games that I always enjoy, so this is definitely on my radar. And obviously this is cross-platform with the PC as well as the Xbox and PS5. Obviously you can get the old version, but this is the next gen version obviously that they're doing. And yeah, wow, pretty cool. I do love Mortal Kombat. Just look at that. Ugh, gory. Ugh. Grim. You gotta love it. You gotta love Mortal Kombat. Oh, I always have. Like, it's gruesome. Boom. Yeah, I mean that comes out on launch day as well. So, well, it's launching in the UK because obviously we've got the game is the launch of the console is delayed for the PS5 over here, so it is launch here but it's not launch in America. Now obviously Watch Dogs Legions has already come out, but this game for me, because it's obviously based in my backyard in London, just looks absolutely amazing. Now it's had some mixed reviews already, so I'm a little bit about it, but yeah, it does look very good, and although it's had mixed reviews, I am looking forward to playing it. It's just, obviously this is already out on Xbox One and PS4, and although, like I said, it's had mixed reviews, I shall be reviewing the PS5 version, because that's what I've got on order, so, just looks awesome. The whole thing looks awesome. Look at that.
And I did not speak out.
Way.
Because I was not a protester.
So that actually does look like I'm running around the underground, which is very cool.
Because I was not a journalist.
I've been running around the underground like that before. Well, not quite like that, but...
And then they came for street artists. But I didn't
running to jump on YouTube, always fun.
because I am not a street artist.
And obviously then Ubisoft are also bringing out Assassin's Creed, the old Valhalla. Now, again, this has had a few mixed reviews again already, so it's a little bit like, oh dear, what's going on? But I mean, it does look good, but it just looks like another typical Assassin's Creed game, which I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing or what, but just, I don't know. It does look good, but again, is it just going to be more of the same again with Assassin's Creed? I don't know. Maybe you have a take on it and can leave a comment down below, but I'm going to play it, I suppose, at some point, but it just hasn't got that panache for me at the moment, and I'm a little bit, I won't say taken back by it, but I'm just a bit like, can we try something new please? And I suppose that really goes the same with, not so much the same with Watch Dogs, because obviously Watch Dogs is only in its 3rd incarnation, whereas Assassin's Creed is now up to, what, about 11 or 12 of them, and I'm getting a little bit bored of it. And I know they keep changing the setting and the theme and the background of the game and everything, but it just doesn't. You could have done this game without it being an Assassin's Creed game and tried to do something new. So, anyway, furthermore, a very big game that I'm looking for, which is cross-platform with the PS4, which is Sackboy. Sackboy, A Big Adventure. Now this is actually a change on the normal typical Little Big Planet game, because there's no creation mode and there's no like social side of things. However, I've always loved, I never really got into the Little Big Planet creation and that of the game. I always just played the levels and then finished the game, and that was about it. I never got into the whole building hundreds of levels for a community and all that side of things. So this game for me, being just more purely based on being a platform game with a story mode and still being very creative in how you can complete the levels, just looks absolutely perfect. I really cannot wait to play this game. And like I say, it is cross-platform, sorry, not cross-platform, cross-gen with the PS4. So it's not like you even need to buy a new console to play this. It just looks awesome. I really like it. I've always liked Sackboy. He's cool. And obviously then the same can be said for SpiderMan Miles Morales, because apart from obviously the load times being super fast and it being super smoother at 4K 60 on the PS5, it's also cross-platform with the PlayStation 4. So you've got those two games where you've got them on next gen as well as on the next gen and current gen platforms, which I know people got a bit annoyed about that, and I can understand it to some extent. However, like, it's a really good thing to support the old console platforms, and Sony has always been renowned for supporting their legacy old generation, as it's going out for a long time. It's not always with the AAA games straight away, and most of the time after a year it's not getting those. However, it does tend to get a couple for the first year or so, and the games that are like indie games are probably going to be coming out on the PS4 for a long time anyway, I would have thought. And this game looks absolutely awesome, and obviously on the PlayStation 5 you're going to be getting your 4K 60s and your insane fast loading times, and on the PS4 you won't. And that's basically how they're going to show you the differences on some of the parts of the game, whereas with something like Ratchet and Clank, that literally can't be done on the PS4, so you're not going to see that on there. But Spider-Man looks absolutely awesome, and it's been getting rave reviews already. We're talking 9.5s, even some of them are getting 10s, which for a launch game, unbelievable really when you think about it. A launch game getting 10 out of 10 or 9.5 out of 10 I think is unheard of sometimes, because I mean, you might argue Breath of the Wild was 10 out of 10, and for some people it might have been, but like that was always intended to be a Wii U game only, not a Switch game. So really, that was a bit of a. But I tell you, Spider-Man Miles Morales looks absolutely amazing. Really does. I'm blown away with it so far. And I can't wait to play this game. Anyway, moving on. The next game on the list is another cross-platform release, which is the Pathless. Now, the Pathless, not only is it cross-platform, it's also getting a physical release, thankfully, on the PlayStation 5, but it's just coming out later. It's I think it's like 2 weeks later you can actually get a physical disc release, and I know it's in most of Europe that you can get that physical disc release. I don't know whether that's in the States as well. I know I've got a lot of viewers here that are in America, so I'm not sure about that. I can find out for people if you want me to find out, obviously. But this game does look very cool, and I am very, very, very impressed with how this game looks. It's got this really nice art style, almost like cel shaded. It's so cute in places, and I really like it. So I really want to mention this game on my on the video because I just think it looks so cool. Has a really nice picturesque type vibe to it, like it's been almost hand-drawn, almost painted in places. It's very, very clear the direction they were going with the art style in this game, and I really, really wanted to mention that on my video. And the same with the crazy game that's coming up next on my video. The crazy game I'm going to talk about next is Bugsnax. Now, Bugsnax really is just bizarre. It's quite possibly the most bizarre game like ever. Like it's just amazing. I think I need to be on drugs or something watching this sometimes. And it's free at launch because you get it in with your PlayStation Plus membership. So if you're going to be paying for your Plus anyway, which is what, like £2 a month or something, you're going to get this to play as the launch PlayStation Plus game. And it just looks weird as hell. Like, it's bizarre. Like, why has the strawberry got eyes? Why is he eating said strawberry with eyes? I don't know, but I guess we'll all find out. And yeah, it's from the indie developer that did Octodad, which is pretty cool. I do like that. So, and I did play that on the Vita, and that was a very weird and wonderful, wacky game as well. So, we'll definitely be looking at this, but I don't really know what to expect from it whatsoever, because it just is a bit bizarre, to say the least. However, the next game is massive, you might say, because the next game we're going to be talking about is Demon Souls. Now, obviously, Demon Souls, a lot of people say this wrong, obviously. However, this game is a PlayStation 3 game which has had a next generation remake. Now, I never played the original game, and this looks absolutely epic. Like, I can't believe how good this game is looking. And if you look at some of the comparisons from this to the PlayStation 3 game, like, it's breathtaking how far we've come with gaming, really. You can really see the difference in sheer quality of gameplay and the combat and the graphics, and absolutely everything just looks like out of this world perfect. Like, I've never seen something so mind-boggling that it's being pulled up to next generation like this. And I know it's an old game and they're using the base original game to do the upgrade and the remake, but my god, like, There's nothing like this on the Xbox for launch, which is a real shame, because if they'd have had the Halo over on launch, it'd have been awesome, but there's nothing. So, but this is the standout game for the PlayStation 5, really. It just looks awesome. So there's that's coming out at launch as well. And then obviously on every single PlayStation 5 we're getting Astro's Playroom, which does look very cool, I must admit. They it's basically a mini platform game with Astro, and it's almost like a history lesson in PlayStation history across the whole historical background of PlayStation. So it's really cool because it goes through like PS1, PS2, PSP, everything, and it has this real cool vibe where it's taking you through all different parts of history with like memory cards and hard drives and different CPUs in places, and there's fans around, and I just think it looks really cool. Like, I will be playing this almost straight away, I thought. I think most people will be giving this a go. And it's supposed to really show you how the haptic feedback works in the controller, which I think is a really cool way to show you how the controller works and all the different features in there. And then, like, it's also good for developers to see this and play this, because then also developers can see how they could implement it into their games and all sorts like that. So it's showing you off the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers and pieces like that in the game. But really it's a controller show, so to speak. It's a showpiece for the controller, but I've read that it can even take like 6 or 7 hours to complete this game, and that's cool to get that just pre-installed on the console. I really like that. Memory card, yay. That's what I mean, it's got that really cool vibe about history from the PlayStation heritage, so to speak, which is very cool. Another game that's at launch which I'm interested in is Godfall. Now, Godfall is from the peeps at Gearbox, which they're renowned for making Borderlands, obviously. And obviously it's Gearbox Publishing, and there's a developer behind it as well, but this game does look very good, and it is coming out on PC as well. I think it's PlayStation exclusive for like 6 months, and then it's coming out on PC. I read something like that, but it looks absolutely awesome. Like, the gameplay and the load speed on this game is absolutely insane. Like, you die and respawn and you're back alive again in a blink of an eye. Like, it's breathtakingly fast of how quick you respawn in this game, and it's basically reloading the whole entire part of the game again in microseconds, milliseconds. It is so fast, it's unbelievable. So I am getting this at launch, and I shall be either, I still can't decide what to play first, whether it will be this, SpiderMan, Sackboy, Demon Souls. I'm obviously going to play Astro's Playroom probably first, just to try the controller out and see all the features, but I really don't know what game I'm going to sit down and play first as my first full launch title. Could be this, could be Demon Souls, could be Sackboy, could be SpiderMan. I really don't know yet, but I'm getting hyped for it. It's very close now for the console launch. So anyway, as everybody knows, I hit the 10,000 subscribers, and I am doing a small giveaway. The link is in the description down below, and look out for much more next generation content on the channel. I shall catch you all on the next one, and goodbye.